This number 2 episode is all about lessons. Lessons and laws. Not laws in so much as laws put in place by the man, or by society as a whole necessarily. No, this informative episode of this smart show for dum-dums is about understanding not only the what, but the why of the what. How to see the what of literally everything. Then instructions on loading your question gun with the best ammo to blow the brains right the fuck out of any mystery that happens to find itself within the effective stand your ground law lines.
Baby, since we never agreed, you like the movies and I like TV now. I take things serious and you take them light. Go to bed early and you party all night. Friends are saying that we ain't gonna last, 'cause I move slowly and baby you're fast. I like it quiet and you love to shout. When we get together it just all works out. I take 2 steps forward, you take 2 steps back. We come together, those opposites attract. Now you know it ain't fiction, just a natural fact. We come together, those opposites attract.
Hoo-ha. I've got you all in check.
That's well, that would have been woo-ha, but I mean close enough. We'll let you slide with that.
Scent of a woman.
Yeah. Either way.
That he says that a lot after he says hoo-ah.
We got you all in check. I could totally picture Al Pacino doing.
How great would that movie have been if it was Busta Rhymes instead of Al Pacino?
I mean, that would have been hilarious too. But I was picturing Al Pacino doing the Busta Rhymes fucking karaoke. You
are doing imagination incorrectly, Chris.
You gotta go for the bigger meat, huh? The bigger catch.
What else is life about, man?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot, because what they tell you it's supposed to be about is not really the way. In fact...
Wait, in fact what? No, go. Please, go. In fact?
We're talking about the way. This is about
the way? The song from Fastball from the late 90s?
No, of course not.
Oh. That was a good song. Fuck you.
Alright, well, whoever Fastball is, I'm sure it was acceptable, but that's not what we were talking about. So, continue. What were you going to say?
Welcome to another Chris's second episode about majesty that is thrice great.
Indeed.
Of See No, Hear No, Speak No.
The UFOs, the conspiracies, psychopomps, I guess.
Psychopomps.
Axioms and aphorisms. And murder.
You know, I think my dad went to school to become a psychopop, but he just became a psychopop.
Oh. Yeah, that's not the same thing. I mean, well, maybe. I mean, I guess if you kill people, isn't that kind of... you're not really escorting them, per se, but you're kind of like showing them the way.
I mean, that is a form of escortation, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, we'll take it as that. So
you got to tell all the lot lizards that you run across, like, there's a loophole for you. You can say that, yes, I'm an escort, but what I do is I escort people off of the mortal coil.
Off of the mortal coil. Where did that saying come from, I wonder?
I don't know, probably fucking Maytag, the sons of bitches.
Like, why is it a coil, for real?
I don't know.
Maytag.
I need a new coil in my vapey thingy, though. It's hurting me. It's hurting my throat. Expensive-ass stupid bitch.
It's starting to taste like fucking burnt popcorn and...
No, it's starting to taste like burnt Jason's throat.
That's not good. That can't taste good. It's
not horrible.
They don't make that flavor.
It could be worse, for sure.
Always.
I'm a tasty creature, so I've been told.
I like to call that the brighter side of pessimism, and that's usually what I try to see things. You know, in that you may think this sucks, but it could always be worse.
It's like if you found a coin that was covered in hobo shit, but one side was still wet and one side was dry, you'd be like, I'll pick it up.
I mean, it's still money, you know.
Legal tender.
Yeah, see, you can
Go buy you a penny whistle, motherfucker.
pay debts and stuff with it, so sure.
Hey, Chris, I gotta ask you to do something for me.
Oh, Lord. What now?
Warm it up, Chris.
Fuck. You know, I was about to.
Warm it up, Chris.
Because that's what I was born to do.
Okay, good.
You know?
I just...
Some of them try to rhyme, but they can't rhyme like this.
Oh my god, he went further than I ever could with it.
Well, that's because I'm the miggity Mac Daddy.
Man, when you were a kid and you could actually do that part, it was like being black for real.
Miggity Mac Daddy. I could still do it.
I always liked the jump song more.
It's classic.
Because the Mac Daddy make you.
Yeah, always.
And the Daddy Mac will also make you.
The Daddy Mac for the assist, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it was... I forget which one passed away recently.
One of them died?
Recently, yeah, of heroin overdose.
So it's just Chris now?
It's just Chris now.
And I really hope it is just Chris. Like, that's the whole title, is Just Chris.
Oh, man, if he drops an album called Just Chris, I'm going to have to show some support.
He's going to do nothing but a 40-minute cover of Crossroads.
Oh, Jesus, no, don't do that. Don't do that, whatever you do.
I'll see you at the Crossroads.
Oh,
man. I am throwing these $1 million ideas out like they're nothing.
Well, I mean, when you're a muse, you can do that.
I am amusing. You are the correctest.
Yeah, I usually am.
Like I said in my little intro bitty dealy mabobber, I don't even know what those are called anymore. This is a number 2 for Chris, again, because Chris loves number 2s and double entendre.
So gross.
Because I will be more succinct in saying so, I'm going to say this. If you want to know what we talked about in episode 1, go fucking listen to episode 1. This is episode 2. It's about being smart. There will be no makeup.
Yeah, you will be quizzed. And if you didn't listen, you will not understand. You will not understand at all.
You'll mostly be quizzed on what our email addresses are, which are Izard? Eddie Izzard?
He's hilarious, but no, continue. We'll let
snhnsnpod@gmail.com. And the one that we should probably just do away with, because why I have 2 emails? I'll tell you why I have 2 emails, because somebody's got to fucking pay attention to one of them sooner or later. See no, hear no, speak no pod@gmail.com. Chris, the floor, the walls, the ceiling, maybe even the roof tiles are yours for the taking. Please take it away.
Well, I'm going to pee on the outsides of some of them. So, yeah, they damn sure will be mine.
I mean, I've marked them already, and I'll mark them again.
Oh.
You do what you have to.
You son of a bitch. Marking my fucking territory?
I just gifted you like a house. You might be missing some shingles, but...
That you've already peed on.
Well, way to look the gift horse where horses are fucking forbidden to be looked at.
What is that? That is such a weird statement. That's always been a weird one for me.
Well, that's how they used to see if a horse was healthy and shit. They'd check their teeth and shit. So looking a gift horse in the mouth means, yeah, I'll take this gift, maybe. Let me see if it's any good first.
It's a gift.
Yeah, but, I mean, processing it for glue isn't fucking free. So it's like,
rude.
Here's an investment. Bye.
Just rude. It's just...
Rude.
I mean... It's got to be some pretentious white people shit to do.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
trying to
thanks
make
for
laws,
this
Chris.
Awesome, expensive thing that you bought me, or that you're giving me. Let me make sure I even want it, because if not, I'm gonna tell you to go fuck yourself.
Hey, man, that's what Europe is literally built on.
Yeah, I guess that's a yeah. Yeah.
That and the trade in ethnic minorities to do all of the labor.
Well, I hear it's like it's like a package deal. It all just kind of comes together.
Yeah, wealth and prosperity is usually built upon the backs of people that are not yours.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've heard. But
if you're working all day, you can't spend the money. Come on now.
The equation is, it makes sense, but I don't think I like performing said math.
Well, that's
personally.
why you're not one of the rich white Europeans, because if you really knew the equation, you would know that it makes dollars.
See? Doesn't make dollars if it don't make sense. As they say. Speaking of they, those motherfuckers, they say some shit.
Sons of bitches, I knew it.
And this is one of those things that I have been, like, low-key beating myself up about for many years now. What they always fucking say. Well, our good buddy Hermes has something to say about what they say. So
Yeah,
let's get into that. There were a couple of extras that I wanted to throw out there about our friend Hermes. Remember how I had mentioned that we don't really know 100% what the deal is with this guy? If perhaps he was just a human who knew a lot of shit, genius level type shit for his time, and then was later on deified.
Right. Can I put it in a way that our fans of Seinfeld will understand?
Of course.
What's the deal with this Hermes Trismegistus guy? I'm sorry, I got cop lights flashing outside my window where I'm sitting right now, because cops sure love to pull people over in front of my house.
Ew.
I like when they arrest the person and leave the car there for days, because I figure if it's more than 2 days, that's my right to open an unlocked car and go through it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I think that's fair.
I've literally never found anything of interest or value, but I've had a fun time doing it.
That's funny.
So,
That's
Mr.
funny.
Trismegistus, the whatever the fuck you are, let's tell people more about the other one that is not... It's not you.
No, it's
not you.
not. It's not. He was cooler than me.
Oh, don't say that.
No,
I mean, it's true,
I
but
mean,
don't say it.
God.
Let me say shit like that.
Sometimes you gotta let people know,
I hear the self-deprecating humor thing, man. I was a super fat kid. I did it for a long time.
See? So you do know. See? There you go. All right. So, so, I mean, on that possible basis that he was just a human, and then later on, just renowned as such a cool guy that he just became deified towards the end. But along those same kind of lines, there were a few other guys, and this is kind of why they did they think perhaps this was the case, because your boy Imhotep, the original, the Pharaoh's magician, or whoever the fuck that guy was.
I think you're right. He was the Pharaoh's fucking kid party magician.
Right. Yeah. See, he was the Macaulay Culkin of the Pharaoh's kingdom and stuff. Fucking.
That's him after he shaved.
Or was that him after he ate a bunch of acid and tripped out with Marilyn Manson and Seth Green?
No, that's him after he ate a bunch of acid and shaved.
You. Why? Why would you ever pick up a razor while on acid? That is...
Hey, man, losing your mind does weird things to people sometimes.
That is the worst idea I think I've ever heard of somebody doing something on acid. That's awful.
No, I think the worst idea I've ever heard is shaving while doing a triple backflip off of a second-story balcony.
Did somebody do
while
that?
on acid. No, I'm just saying that that's probably a worse idea.
It is, yeah, you're right. Okay, I'll give you that. So, so Imhotep was definitely a human. We know this for sure. He lived, but later, after the generations and such, later on, he wound up becoming, deified in the sense that this guy was renowned to be so awesome that he just must have been, a product of the gods. Not
like
necessarily a god himself, but so that's what happened to him, and then so that's why we think perhaps that was Hermes' story as well. But there were a couple other guys.
Still burping up that steak, eh?
Yeah, it's being a little rude. But we liked it. It was tasty.
No, it's being a lot rude. I'm sure people love hearing you burp in their ears or silently go anyway.
Thanks for making that so much nicer to take.
No, it's good. It's good. That way you think about it when you do it.
Right.
You want to give the steak place a free plug?
Mm-mm.
Good.
No,
Fuck them.
Not at all.
I agree.
Not at all. It was tasty, but they're not. It's not. Yeah, they're not.
The place is called Tasty Steak.
Fuck that. So, Jason.
Yes, Chris.
There was another dude, a renowned scribe, as it were, named Amenhotep.
I've heard of him.
Really?
Probably from, like, The Mummy, but I've heard of him.
No, that was Imhotep. From The Mummy. Amenhotep was a whole nother dude.
Well, I mean, just point out the fact that I'm stupid and don't pay attention when I watch movies, Chris. Thanks.
Well, I think it's just that Hotep is like a common suffix to a name.
It's like Jones,
ancient
Smith.
Egypt. Yeah, some shit like that. And another wise man named Teos.
Tails?
Teos. Teos.
Oh, okay.
Teos. And they were wound up. They were definitely humans as well, who basically wound up being co-equal, as they say, deities of wisdom, science, and medicine, and thus were placed alongside Imhotep in shrines dedicated to Thoth and Hermes during this one particular era. So
Sweet.
Yeah, there's apparently that type of thing happened more often than we knew.
A quick question that I actually think I meant to ask last episode. Was Hermes Egyptian or was he Roman?
Well, the Hermes that we think he might have been based on is Greek. And then Thoth was Egyptian.
I meant Greek, sorry. I'm a big dumb dummy. But yeah, okay, so Hermes would have been Greek during Greek's whole sleepover party.
Right.
In Egypt. Okay, got it.
Right,
got
but you mean as a person, was he supposed to be Greek or Egyptian?
Yeah, like if he was
if he was
really
a real
was
person?
a human being.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, I would assume he would have been Greek just because you would think his name would have been different from the start.
Assumations, we give them to you.
Yeah, we're gonna throw some shit out there, and you may catch it in the face. You may just catch a little blob on your shirt or something, but either way.
I think what Chris is clumsily trying to say is that we put the ass in assumations.
Damn right we do. And we let it rip.
Jesus, Chris. Show some tact.
That's not my name. Yeah, they don't call me Tactful Chris. That's one thing they do not call me.
That's right. I keep forgetting.
Mm-hmm. That's a terrible stripper name, by the way.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why you. I don't know why you would even bring that up as that. Why is that running parallel with your thought process right now?
Because you still refuse to admit that it is a believable scenario.
Because it's not. You've never stripped. I'm sorry. Sorry, Chris. I mean, you've taken clothes off before, but not in front of a crowd. Or not in front of a willing crowd.
For money? For money.
I'm not going to say you've never stripped for money. I'm just going to say you've never done it professionally with people that wanted to see it.
Professionally. You just throw out that word all willy-nilly, don't you?
Mm-hmm. You never made it to the pros. You had what it took. You just didn't practice, Rock.
I got the gumption, kid.
I don't think you do.
I really fucking don't. Anyway, I've known a few male strippers over the years, but
Congrats.
yeah, but no, I definitely don't have that that good old what it takes. They're an interesting crowd, though. If you ever have the chance to know one, they're interesting people.
If Hermes was a male stripper, what do you think his stage name would be?
No, you put me on the spot. You know that never works. I got nothing.
Hermes Tris times the Dickmas.
No, that's.
It's a mouthful. Okay, let's continue.
Redemption. Sometimes it is sweet. Okay, so yeah, the only other thing I wanted to throw out there was just a little quick explanation of the thrice great, the Trismegistus suffix, if you want to call it a suffix. I guess it's kind of more like a last name, but
that's fine.
Yeah, basically. It's one of those things that like the power of three. There has to be three. The team of three. Just
the
two.
Trinity.
Right. You're always more powerful with that third one. So basically, it comes down to that he is just the awesome of the awesome of the awesomest, and thrice great is. It kind of like equivalent to infinity in this case. You're just an asshole if you go, if you try to be like, times infinity,
Right.
No, they stop playing at that point.
You know what they've said forever. It's that two's company, three's a god.
Well, there was actually, yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one. Now I'm trying to make sense of it, and I just don't.
He died for our sins.
Yeah, no, I don't think he did. Anyway, so there was actually an account, and now this is an interesting development here because we said Thoth was supposed to be kind of a part of this whole thing, yet somehow there is an account of how Hermes Trismegistus got his epithet. Epithet? Is that how you say that word?
Epitaph?
No, it's spelled Epithet.
Epithet. Sure.
Epithet.
Why the fuck not?
Okay, well, there you go. So Thoth mentioned this in the Emerald Tablets itself, because the Emerald Tablet knows a lot of stuff, and he said...
The tablet itself, not the person that chiseled it, but the tablet itself knows tons.
Correct, yes. And he said, the tablet being a boy, said that the three parts are the wisdom of the whole universe, right? The three parts being alchemy, astrology, and theurgy. So that's why... when they call him Trismegistus, it is because he knows what's happening. He's the greatest philosopher, the greatest priest, and the greatest king. EST.
And I hear he kind of looked like Liam Neeson.
Well, he would have to. I mean, otherwise, how do you just gain respect as the greatest king?
I want my daughter back.
I mean, and what a great philosopher. I could see Neeson's voice being... all soapboxy and stuff. I could see it. Yeah.
Yep, just before he punches you in the throat.
Yeah. See? Boom.
Okay, let's get back to the teachings of Liam Neeson.
Boom. I'm loving it. So yeah, that's the thing. He was known as the King of Kings and all this other fun stuff. And the thrice great is speculated to be of any of these pretty much of any of these main trinities, but mainly astrology, alchemy, and theurgy. So
And pottery, I hear, too, so let's not leave it out. It takes
It's basket
all
weaving.
kinds, man.
It's
Different
basket
strokes.
weaving, but it doesn't rhyme. It doesn't.
Different strokes.
Basket weaving doesn't end in a Y. It's not a science, so they just left it out.
Yeah, poor basket weaving. Okay, so what's the next teaching? I remember the other ones were about cats, and one was about how to lower your mortgage.
That's right. That's right.
So this new one's going to be interesting, and I really do want to hear it. So
Yeah, the new one is actually very interesting, and it's a big one. Number 4 is the principle of polarity. Polarity, well, if you don't know what polarity is, we're going to get into it. So the quote from the Kybalion about the principle of polarity is, everything is dual, semicolon, everything has poles, P-O-L-E, yes, like polar opposites, like on a magnet.
understood.
Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree, which we will explain, because that statement right there threw me off a little bit till I got a few good examples of it. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes can be reconciled.
Huh. But doesn't that not? But I mean, doesn't that make them not paradoxes? Paradoxes?
Well,
If they can be reconciled, isn't a paradox an You fucking know what I'm fucking trying to say.
well, yeah, it is. By definition, that's what a paradox is. Yes, but if it exists, then there has to be a way for it not to exist, and by not existing, you don't need a solution, so you are not a paradox.
I mean, I think that there's no way we could do an explanation to this this lesson justice any better than the great scribes and teachers that went by the name of Paula Abdul and MC Scat Cat.
I think everyone in the world could benefit from a little wisdom by MC Scat Cat, which...
A little scat in their ears.
Oh, man. It tickles me pink every time I get to say that name. Paula Abdul, on the other hand, I think everyone has been forced to have a little more of her than we can handle, and I'll thank you not to bring that up again.
I'll thank you to speak for your goddamn self.
It's still a little sore, let's just say that. It's still a little sore.
Don't go on Tinder dates with Paula Abdul. I'll just say that.
Anyway, yes, that song did, it said it all. It really did. So this principle, more specifically, embodies the truth that everything is dual, everything has two poles, everything has a pair of opposites, all of which were old Hermetic axioms. And it goes on to explain the old paradoxes that have perplexed so many, which have been stated as follows. Quote, theses and antitheses, yeah, that's how you pronounce that. Theses and antitheses, I so very rarely even hear that word, are identical in nature but different in degree, end quote. Quote, opposites are the same, differing only in degree, end quote. Quote, the pairs of opposites may be reconciles.
Or attract, yes.
Extremes meet. Everything is and isn't at the same time.
That's what I've said that about the weather for years. Why isn't every day just a 50% chance of rain? It's either going to rain or it won't.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I don't think...
It's called college. Go to it.
Yeah, but you know how people are and their options. They like to be.
It's all about the minutia,
Mm-hmm.
which I think this teaching is really kind of all about in my head. The way that you're explaining it to me, at least, is that especially when it says that polar opposites are still the same, just different degrees of, because they still fucking deal with the same thing, which means they're still kind of the same thing, just on separate ends of the spectrum.
Exactly.
And so yeah, I get that. I get that. I mean, they're still completely related, yet couldn't be more different.
That is exactly right. So, yeah, and I will give a couple of examples of that here pretty soon. So, yeah, I mean, it's the same way. All truths are but half-truths. Every truth is half false, right? There are two sides to everything. It explains that in everything there are two poles or opposite aspects, and that opposites are really only the two extremes of the same thing, as Jason just said, with many varying degrees in between them. So, yeah, think about hot and cold, right? The temperature is still temperature nonetheless, and the vibration of the matter itself is just vibration. All heat is the molecules vibrating faster, right, to cause friction. So
Right.
They either are vibrating fast enough to cause heat, or they aren't. It's still the same matter nonetheless. Either way, it's still the same matter. So varying degrees of this matters, of the vibrational speed and pattern of this particular matter, determines whether or not it is hot or cold.
Understood.
Right.
I think they actually they talked about this on an episode of Family Matters, if I'm not mistaken.
Urkel explained this?
No,
Did he?
no. Well, you know, Stephen Urkel and Stefan Urkel
Hey,
couldn't be more different people.
Stefan's the dog now. We're
But-
not going to have a crossword about Stefan.
No, and we won't. But they are still both inherently Urkel.
I see your point, Dr. Banner. I see your point.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean that's what that comes down to. Uh-oh. Shit. Hang on.
The best that just I look forward to it every week is when Chris says, "Uh-oh."
Nah, it was nothing bad. I just got a text. It's all good. It's all gravy. They're just out of my chicken parmesan, so I gotta choose something else, guys. I was gonna eat something fire when I'm done with this episode, but not anymore, because the sons of bitches sold it out.
Nope, now he's got to eat dirt.
Fuck.
Them's the rules.
Anyway.
Polar opposites.
There's a couple more just simple examples. Think of large and small. It's the same damn thing. It's just either a bigger thing or it's a smaller thing, you know?
Yep,
Is it your
still a thing.
Yeah, it's a fucking bouncy ball or it's a soccer ball. It's still a ball, you know? It just... So, yeah, light and dark.
I think this is one of the more graspable of the teachings.
That portion of it.
Oh, God.
Yes, that portion is fairly simple, but I mean, like we had said, you know, we were going to mention it about the truths. All truths are only half truths. What they say, they also have said the exact opposite, and it also is a well-known aphorism. Have you noticed that?
I don't think it's a well-known aphorism at all.
Not that. I mean, what they have said about everything on both sides are well-known aphorisms. Follow along. Don't make me.
Fuck you.
Don't make me yank this leash.
What, you gonna come over here and you're gonna hurt me? I am quaking in my old lady slippers.
I'm gonna bring lizards from Florida. Not those weird swamp lizards you guys got. We got these mean black lizards over here, and
I swear to God, I thought you said wizards.
Wizards? Really,
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Really? Well,
Yes.
you wouldn't have thought that if you let me finish my sentence.
No,
Then
I
you
would
have understood the context. Because I
mean,
am
I
going
understood
to
the
make them
context.
clamp down on your nipples. And would I have brought wizards to clamp your nipples? No, I would have brought wizards to fucking, like, turn your nipples into, I don't know, milk duds. My nipples look like milk duds.
I think that you've just invented a very, very new, very weird fetish for me.
Milk dud nips?
Put there by wizards from Florida.
Oh, man. Wizards in Florida. You don't want to meet a wizard in Florida. They don't like They don't like brown
basketball.
things in general.
Love basketball. The Orlando Magic, the only black people that are welcome in Florida. Apparently.
Oh, that's a totally different kind of wizard than I was thinking. Anyway, moving along. Before we get into that, we're not going to get into that, Jason. You tried to make me say something crazy, but I caught you. I got your game here.
I think you more caught yourself than anything.
I heard you egging me on.
Nope.
The kids out there heard it. You guys heard it. I
already made all the kids omelets with my eggs, so it's impossible. Can't egg you on.
Damn it. He was fucking
delicious ham and egg fucking omelets with just a right amount of shredded cheese and a little bit of butter. Just fold it over. It's so fucking good.
You're an asshole. So, the principle of polarity explains that these paradoxes between hard and soft and black and white and sharp and dull and all of these things, it not only explains them by saying that if there is a paradox, basically by saying that if there is a paradox, then not having a paradox is the only remedy for it, right? It's that kind of thing.
If it's world ending, then the world ended, so there is no world to end, so therefore the world couldn't have ended.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's that, and then there's probably another 1,000 other copies of the world, so the world really didn't end. It's just this one.
I mean, my robot mind just exploded. Right. I was evil, but now I'm gone, so
there you go.
There's that.
There you go. That fucking Hermes for the win. So... Yeah, and this is one of those principles that no other principle can supersede. It is said by the Kybalion itself. So this principle, it operates on the mental plane because of the fact that you really have to give good thought into this to really...
It's entirely thought exercise.
Right, and in order to embrace it... And what's the word I'm searching for? Apply it into your natural life. It takes a lot of thought. It really does. It's not just the fact that you understand that this item is either hot or cold. It's the same damn item. Okay, that's the most simplest of explanations of it. But once you start thinking about the opposites of everything and the how it all really works, then you start grasping more of the balance of things and understanding why there has to be an opposite, why it's deeper than just this. It's all, well, I mean, we've noticed that all of these are deeper than just the surface.
We've all seen Star Wars, Chris. Stop bragging.
Shut your stinky face.
Always talking about the Jedi and the Sith. I'm fucking tired of it.
I said nothing of the sort.
You said it in between the lines.
Listen, Skeletor is not gonna wait for me to fucking stop you from talking shit, okay? He wants his side of the Force to be represented, and that's all I'm trying to do.
What? Skeletor?
Well, yeah. Is he not the most ultimate evil in the universe?
Oh, fine, whatever.
That's what I thought. Alright? Quit fucking correcting me. God.
I didn't correct nothing. It was like, hey, I have a thought too.
No, you don't. No, you don't. These are thoughts. What you do is fart out of your brain holes. That's what
that makes sense too.
That's what you do. So, and anyway, in any case, I mean, yeah, this. You see, you're throwing me off now. I can't. I lost my damn place. You and your fucking combative nature, Jason. I swear to God. Where the hell was I? You really did throw me off, though. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the Kybalion goes on to state that, you know, even though many of you who have read this explanation, which I have just read to you, so it's really talking about me, not so much you fucking guys. Anyway, you know, have had personal experiences of the involuntary rapid transition from love to hate and the reverse. It's that sort of thing that, you know, it's everything is mostly a gray area. There is no real end all be all on either side of the spectrum, right? But
so saith the Kybalion.
Exactly. Same with good and evil. The same with everything. If you can learn to understand why the balance is necessary, then you can basically walk the gray area as you see fit. Right? If you can embrace that particular principle, and obviously you got to apply it to all the rest of them, and try to apply all of these at the same time, which is fucking impossible. But it's really
I think our listeners are smart enough and good enough, and god darn it, people like them. So,
gosh darn it, people like them. Well, I hope so.
I think we have faith in them, and we teach them the teachings, or show them the teachings. We are not teachers. We are only fucking stupid, dummy talkers here.
Yeah, we're not even students.
You guys are the fucking real deal. So, we're at 40 minutes. Can we? If there were any other, like, you know, examples or whatever, I say we step over them, because
no, that's it. That's it.
Okay, sweet.
I explained that one. How about you? Shut up.
Hey man, you can't praise me for my time. Fucking what you call it? See, now you can't. I can't see. Now I feel bad. I feel bad, and so now I can't even. Talk. You can't praise my time management skills on the show and then bitch about when I fucking manage time on the fucking show.
Moving right along. If any of you listeners out there actually can grasp and apply all of these principles to your actual life and make them work for you, please email us. I would really like to know how the hell
Chris will suck yo dick. In theory.
Only if your significant other is there to watch.
And you have chicken parmesan for him.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, man. Fucking chicken parm. Anyway, number 5. The principle of rhythm.
Ooh, I got rhythm.
The quote from the Kybalion is, "Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates." So I think from that explanation, from that quote, you can kind of see how it plays into the previous one as well.
Absolutely. Everything has an equal but opposite.
Right, exactly. And as, like you said, as one of the laws of the universe states, you know, you push on something, it's going to push back, and that's just how the flow works. So there has to be a balance.
That's what physics are.
Exactly. There has to be a balance. So, excuse me.
Nope.
This principle embodies the truth that in everything there is a manifested measured motion, to and fro, a flow and inflow, a swing backward and forward, a pendulum-like movement. Right. Between the two poles...
wait, just real quick, no bullshit. When you started that explanation right there, immediately the what is it, Sword in the Stone, the Disney cartoon movie?
Fucking
There's
love
that
it.
song. There's that song in it too, and fro, back, stop and go. That's what makes the world go round.
Yep.
So yeah, they knew. They know.
Fucking Madam Mim.
Fucking followers of the Kybalion.
Love it. Love it. Great reference. So, between the two poles, which exist in accordance with the principle of polarity described a moment ago, there is always an action and a reaction, an advance and a retreat, a rising and sinking. This is in the affairs of the universe, suns, worlds, men, animals, mind, energy, and matter. Basically, the all. The every fucking thing.
Indeed.
This law is manifest in the creation and destruction of worlds, in the rise and fall of nations, in the life of all things, and finally in the mental states of man. And it is with this latter that the Hermetists... See, Hermetists is what they call them, but I don't know. I always called them Hermetics in my head, but I guess that's not right. So, Hermetist...
Well, I'm glad that you pointed out something that you and only you knew that you did that was wrong.
Hermetist
and let us
just
all know
sounds
that
weird.
you did it.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to hide. I'm an open book. You guys know me.
That's not hiding. That's just not throwing out that you suck.
You guys know me.
We do. We know that you suck. It's okay.
So, the Hermetists, they have grasped this principle, finding its universal application, and have also discovered certain means to overcome its effects in themselves by the use of the appropriate formulas and methods. They apply the mental they apply the mental law of neutralization. They cannot annul the principle or cause it to cease its operation, but they have learned how to escape its effects upon themselves to a certain degree, depending upon the mastery of the principle. So, they have learned to use it instead of being used by it. And when it comes down to it, that's what all of this is about.
Is learning how to use the universe for you, not being used by the universe.
Exactly.
Stop being the universe's bitch. Make it your own.
Exactly. Because if you just walk around just existing all the damn time, then all you are is a product of cause and effect. You're causing shit to happen, and you yourself are experiencing the effects of other shit that's happened. Now, granted, no amount of understanding of these principles is going to stop that from being the case, but you won't be just that. You'll be more the cause than...
You know we love layers.
Exactly.
Although, this is starting to sound more and more like you are pitching us a fucking pyramid scheme.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to tell everybody not to give me $1. But...
I mean, I will. I'll say, hey, instead, give me that $1.
If you want to, I'll take it. I will put it to good use. Which you will never know what that use is. But that's not the point. So...
Totally the point.
Yeah, so, when it comes down to it, that's what all this is about. The more you understand, the better off you'll be, right? I mean, that's one of those things. So the master of Hermetics polarizes himself at the point at which he desires to rest, and then neutralizes the rhythmic swing of the pendulum, which would tend to carry him to the other pole, right?
Okay, gotcha.
So
instead of allowing the metaphorical pendulum to continue swinging in the direction it wants to go, these learned hermitage can redirect it back the other way. It's still gonna fucking swing away, but they can learn to be like, whoop, nope, go back.
Yep, that's what it is. So if you sense the pendulum coming at you, you don't buy into the bullshit. So let's say, you're having a bad day. Well, you don't combat having a bad day by adding more anger and, ridiculous behavior to it. It's just going to make it worse.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So that actually goes back to one of the other principles as well, which we had already mentioned, that,
the principle of revenge.
If you force a smile, it really does change things,
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things. I don't know that particular aphorism, but...
And if you clap, a fairy gets its wings.
No, we're not... No. Don't fill the kids' heads with that type of shit.
And every time a bell rings, baby Jesus cries or something. No, wait, that's masturbating.
Oh, my
Never mind. Shut up. Go. Shut up.
Oh, my God. Sometimes you really make me just want to fart, I swear.
Sometimes you make me want to quit this goddamn show, Chris. I swear.
Quit and do what?
I don't know. Probably masturbate.
We all know you're good at that. You do that anyway,
best.
so I don't know why. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on because that one I think is pretty well understood.
Yeah. Can I just say real quick that I had 2 jokes that I wanted to say, and I liked them both so much I couldn't decide which one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and say them both now.
Mm-hmm.
One is more of an observation. The other is more of a callback to an earlier age,
Mm-hmm.
which is the observation is it sounds like those fucking crazy kung fu masters with the super long beards and shit that people go up and see for training and shit. Those guys are like thousands of years old or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still rocking the kicks. 2.
The kicks?
Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe.
Oh, for sure. How is that a joke? What did I miss?
No, neither of them technically jokes, Chris. Thank you. Thank you for making me explain my musings.
Mm-hmm.
Lord knows I love doing that.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you advertise them as jokes...
Well, when I'm under pressure to shut up by you.
I mean, rule number 1, timekeeper. Keeper of the time. The time that is kept.
Rule number 1 leads to question number 6. Or teaching. Son of a bitch, I almost had it. That would have been so smooth.
Not today. Not today. So, principle number 6.
Belding. Yes, just like we spoke about.
Yes. Is the principle of cause and effect, which I think you all knew we were coming to. The quote from the Kybalion is as such. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Well said. Everything happens according to law. Chance.
Chris just fucking belittled the Kybalion.
Well, I mean...
Chris just no-dud it.
I think we've heard that one enough times.
No duh, you stupid fuck.
I think we've all come to that conclusion.
I'm telling.
At least a few times in our lives. You're telling my dad Hermes on me?
That's right. Yeah, man.
Damn it. Is he gonna make fucking scarab beetles come and chew out my butthole or something?
No, because I'm not obsessed with your butthole, Chris. Why are you?
I mean, it's mine. I do what I want.
I mean, that's fine and all, but is it constantly in every thought that you have?
No, not mine. Mine is not constantly in every thought I have.
Fucking seems wrong. Cause and effect. Chris likes his butthole. Effect. Well, that was the cause. The effect is that Chris loves telling people about his butthole.
It's not always mine. It's usually not mine, actually. So, anyway, yeah. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. Ooh.
Okay, that's kind of deep, and not even in like a shallow person being deep way. Like, that's actually kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Roll that one around in your noodle cavities for a little bit, boys and girls.
You stay away from my butt.
Damn it, he knew. He caught me. Fuck. I have to remember sometimes your girlfriend is super nasty, so, you know.
I hate us, so other people have to hate us
She
too,
has
right?
learned you correctly. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law.
I am the law.
So says the Kybalion.
So says the Kybalion.
I think one of the three initiates was Sylvester Stallone.
I want Judge Dredd, but instead of Sylvester Stallone, it's a fucking ancient book.
It's just-
Everything is exactly the same, down to the tiniest fucking Rob Schneider.
It's this old
But,
Greek dude who doesn't wear panties under his
Oh
robe.
man, who does? What's the use of wearing a robe if you gotta wear fucking pantaloons as well? Fuck.
Pantaloons. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I just love that word so much. So yeah, we're gonna. I mean, this one. You know, I believe this one's fairly self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go too far into it.
You know what I think?
But,
You know what I think we should do? I think you give me a cause, I give you the effect, and then I'll give you a cause, and you give me the effect.
Okay.
Just to try to show people how universal this should be.
Ooh, that's a tough one. A cause.
Just a situation, basically.
Any situation? Okay.
Any. Fucking run wild, dude.
A cause. Poop on your shoe.
And the effect is birds are now your friends.
Okay, let's see.
No, it's my turn. I give you cause now.
Okay, alright.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Damn it, this is harder than I thought it
I
was.
told you. It's actually...
Nope. I got it. Apartment building on fire.
Oh, okay. The effect would be... let's see. You now have to go back to China to get another Kumantong.
I knew that first one was a dick.
Mm-hmm.
I was really kind of hoping you'd be like, birds are your friends now.
I mean, birds are nobody's friend, really.
No, birds are all dicks, even the nice ones.
Yeah.
Melissa will have you think that birds can be friends just because she can whistle to birds and they can whistle back. No, they're just learning our speak so they can fucking take over.
What is she, fucking Cinderella? Oh, no, was it Cinderella who could whistle to the birds? No, it was,
Cinderella more sang to the birds.
it was Belle. Fucking
Was it Belle?
Belle.
Belle's my second least favorite.
Fucking Belle, I swear. Anyway.
My first, Pocahontas. You know why? Not a princess. Fuck you.
I mean, you know,
Nope.
the feathers didn't have a patriarchy per se, but
I guess kind of Belle wasn't really a princess either.
Belle was most certainly not a princess. No. She was a commoner.
Coasting in on other people's coattails, man.
Boom.
Petticoat tails at that.
Gaston tried to school that bitch, but she didn't want to have it. Anyway.
Petticoat Junction, yes.
This principle embodies the fact that there is a cause for every effect, you goofy bastards. An effect for every cause. It explains that everything happens according to law. That nothing ever merely happens. That there is no such thing as chance. Of course there's no such thing as chance. There's no such thing as luck. That doesn't make any fucking sense. It
That's
doesn't.
what chaos is, man.
It makes no fucking sense. Now,
Just because there's order doesn't mean there's not chaos.
well, there would have to be, as per the property of polarity,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I am the law.
There would have to be within the all, of course. I mean, because the all can think of anything, and if everything is within the mind of the all, then there would have to be.
Everything is a firing synapse.
That's correct. A firing synapse. And sometimes you are the red pill. Sometimes you're the blue pill.
Sometimes you need Pepto-Bismol because you have diarrhea.
Whoa, what is it? Wait a second. I used to have it memorized. No, never mind. It's gone.
Upset stomach.
Yeah.
Fuck, no, I don't think that's the first one. Shit.
Something.
Heartburn. Oh wait, indigestion, upset stomach, something, heartburn, diarrhea. Fuck.
Yep. See, now what's the NyQuil one?
I mean, the only jingle that's worth knowing for anything is meow 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 meow.
Classic. I mean, if you can't remember that one, you have a problem. So, this one's pretty self-explanatory, but I believe it goes deeper in that if you stop imagining that something is just gonna fucking happen for you, maybe you'll make it happen for yourself.
Exactly. And I hate to throw this out there because we've had this whole episode without me really bashing on Christianity or organized religion in general, really.
Mm-hmm.
But prayer is a fool's fucking shitting in your hand.
I mean, for real.
It does absolutely nothing to better what the fuck is wrong with you.
I mean, real.
A good old lady friend of mine found out that she was having some fucking health problems and was going to have some weird surgeries or some shit, and she was going to have to stop smoking and drinking, and she's like, I'm just going to pray real hard about it. And I'm like, well, that's good and all, but you should try to stop smoking and drinking too, though.
Mm-hmm.
You should maybe I don't know, not just leave it up to your imagination.
Yeah, so I mean, and to add to that, for anybody who may come back at that sort of thing, at that sort of statement, and say, well, what about those people who, are the holistic doctors or the holistic patients who don't believe in, the anesthetics and shit like that?
They're all dangerous fucking liars.
Yeah, okay, mind over matter works. But that's not your God doing that. That's your brain doing that. Yes.
That's what I keep telling people. I was like, humans are so fucking amazing and strong, and we are the ones that did all this. We created that God. Yeah. So why offload your fucking your hopes and dreams and aspirations on that?
Mm-hmm.
You are the one that can make that shit fucking happen. If you sit around all day and do nothing about your problem, then you're always going to have a fucking problem. Yeah. If you see that problem as a challenge to fucking to get rid of or to make better or to solve, then you're fucking being a goddamn human being and doing something about it.
Well, see, and then you couple that with the principle of vibration, and you understand it better by wrapping them both together and saying that, okay, if I'm making something happen, why would I take the time to make something terrible happen when it's just going to, okay, wait. Let me explain that better. If cause and effect, you can be the cause versus experiencing the effect of someone else's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you add that to vibration by saying that, if you correct or if you correct your vibration, putting yourself on that good level where you feel good about life and you're doing what needs to be done, then that will play out in your cause and effect, in your principle of cause and effect, by saying, like you said, like we were talking about, if you just force a smile, after a few moments, it really will be that way. What you were so mad about, you won't forget it, but it won't seem so serious, or it may not. Your anxiety may subside a little bit, or something like that.
Exactly. It's not there to make your problem disappear. It's just there to, I guess, better prepare yourself to deal with the problem instead of just letting the problem fester.
Exactly.
Because you, sad can't, I mean, that's not a good way to fucking gung-ho fuck something up. But you doing that with a psychotic smile on your face is good every time.
Oh, man, and people notice it, too. People notice it, and they feed off of your energy, and that's the thing. That's what the vibration is about, just as much, externally as it is internally. So once that will play itself out in the cause, within the cause of the principle of cause and effect, whether you want it to or not. So you might as well embrace this and get it to play for you instead of against you.
Indeed. And the thing I've really noticed about the teachings of the magical three is that every single one of them applies to literally everything.
Exactly.
There's not you use this one for a situation like this. So it's not like let's just say the pickup artists. They're not like, well, you walk up to them and tell them that they're ugly. That way you have their self-esteem down, and then they'll be okay with this ridiculous fucking monster that just walked up to them hitting on them. Mm-hmm. This is the fucking 6 teachings that every single one of them is not just a part, but like an integral part. Like each thing cannot work without the next. Mm-hmm. But every single one of them applies to every single thing. And by saying every single thing, I'm not saying situations or whatever. I'm saying everything. Everything.
Literally.
And it's kind of common sense, but it's common sense explained in a way that can be understood as common sense.
And that's the thing, exactly, because a lot of these things, people, like, if you come to certain conclusions on your own, a lot of people just keep them to themselves because they think maybe they're the only ones who think this way, or they're the only ones who have noticed such a weird thing happening, or something, or maybe it's just their life, their luck, their fucking whatever, their bad day, or, whatever. That's not the case. As unique...
Well, it's a very closed-minded way to go through life. It's thinking that you are the center of your own little story, and you're not. You are a player in such a big, wide thing that it's unfathomable how huge it is.
Well, that's the problem, though, as well as it is the truth, is that everybody knows that. Just like everybody knows that there's a positive and a negative. That everybody knows these things.
But it's scary to think about it that way. Because
it's too big, though. That's the thing. If you can't,
you can lose faith when you think of it that way. And I'm not, of course, referencing faith. I'm referencing faith in yourself and a reason to fucking wake up in the morning. You can lose that just thinking, well, I'm just a fucking speck on a desert of billions like me. I'm waking up, I'm going to work, I'm talking to people, I'm doing all this, and I'm still just me. Well, guess what? So is everybody else.
It's entirely true. It's entirely true. When you see, when you're faced with something so huge that you can't even wrap your mind around a piece of it, then yeah, it seems daunting. You can get lost in just how huge the task seems to be. But just like with everything else, well, maybe not everything else, but most other things in your life, if you just start doing it, you'll eventually get it done. But you actually have to fucking start.
That's what she said.
I mean, she says a lot of things, and that's it exactly. Is that that's why this doesn't have to tell you how to live your life. It doesn't have to suggest anything. It doesn't have to give you any fucking crazy story or account of some dude doing magic with it. It's just, and that's also why, if you're not ready for it, it's not going to make any fucking sense to you. You won't see how it applies to everything. You won't understand why it makes sense to really think of things from these angles, on these terms. But if you are ready, and you do get it, you really do stop and think and apply and understand how they all match with each other, how they all mix in, and how they all apply to literally fucking everything, you can honestly change your vibration. You can honestly make the energy you're putting out change the energy that's coming at you. It's kind of like...
Yeah. I mean, I used the example last episode that this was more of a tricks and tips guide to life, but it's not even fucking that. It's more of a it's a why. Like that. What's funny is that all these teachings seem to be more telling you to question every single fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why this? And I kind of like that even more. It's not ticks and... I was about to fucking say it again. What's wrong with me?
You totally were.
It's not... it's son of a bitch. It's not tricks and tips. It's here's a manual on coding. Here's why that works the way it does.
Mm-hmm.
Not here's a way to manipulate the way it works.
See? If you understand that in the first place, then you would already know how to manipulate it to your own means.
That's what she said.
And that's exactly... she was totally right this time. So, moving on to our last and final one. Excuse me. We have the principle of gender.
Oh, so there's 7 of them, not 6. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's 7. The principle of gender is mighty important, as are they all. So
I don't want no hermaphrodites using my bathroom with my 6-year-old daughter in there.
People that say shit like that don't even know what a hermaphrodite is.
Buzzword.
So yeah, that's not one of our vocabulary words of this episode, but it may be of an upcoming episode. Who knows? You'll have to stay tuned.
I'm just hoping to be
out.
able to say one day hermaphroditical.
You mean other than today?
I mean, yeah, I want to say it again.
Like an actual
someday.
Proper context? I gotcha.
I don't even know if that's a real word.
I mean, it is now. It is because you have caused it to be so.
Because the Bible tells
Boom.
me so.
Jason just applied it right there, kids. You just saw it happen. Well, you heard it
Cause
happen.
and effect. Vibrations.
Biggity bam. At least one of you is going to turn around and say hermaphroditical in a fucking sentence. Like I just did. Boom. See? Boom. Right there.
Even if it has no basis
It fucking worked.
in what it's about, it's a great word. Use it daily. When you get gas, be like, I'm on pump 3. I need 20 hermaphroditical dollars on it.
It fucking worked. Right there. Now, see if you can get your God to do that. Anyway,
Nope.
Moving right along.
Tongue twisters. Do not agree with him and or her.
The principle of gender. The quote from the Kybalion is, "Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes." Now,
So saith the Kybalion.
so saith the Kybalion. Yes. Yes. And so you should listen, because this is, it's kind of relevant with nowadays, honestly. It really is. And not quite as annoying, though. But, so basically, it's not talking about man and woman when it says masculine and feminine.
No.
Because it doesn't have to, A lot of, basically every creature that we know about other than humans fall into the masculine feminine roles just fine. We're the only ones that buck that system. But then again, we are also the only ones with such a complex brain that anything could fucking happen and make us a different way,
We are troublesome scamps.
Right. And I'm not saying anything could fucking happen, like, good or bad. I'm just saying that, the same thing that could, in one of my theories, the same thing that could make you, I don't know, a serial killer, it could possibly be the same thing that could make you think you're a fucking three-dick dinosaur. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. However, even that three-dick dinosaur has masculine and feminine energies at the same time.
Two of the dicks are masculine, one is feminine. Choose which one if you're right. Treasure from heaven.
That's the dainty one. It's the gentle one. So
that's what you would think, but no.
No, it's really fat, though. That's the problem. So, this principle... terrible, terrible human being. This principle embodies the truth that there is gender manifested in everything, the masculine and feminine principles ever at work. This is true not only in the physical plane, but of the mental and even the spiritual planes. So, on the physical plane, the principle manifests as sex, or, well, we've seen it. We know what it is on the physical plane. On the higher planes...
Straight up fucking.
Yeah, straight up fucking. Nasty, dirty, sweaty fucking. On the higher planes, it takes higher forms, but the principle is ever the same. No creation, physical, mental, or spiritual, is possible without this principle. And an understanding of its laws will throw light on many a subject that has perplexed the minds of men, so it says. The principle of gender works ever in the direction of generation, regeneration, and creation. So, everything and every person contains the two elements or principles of this great principle within it. Every male thing has the female element also, and vice versa. If you would understand, so says the Kybalion, the philosophy of mental and spiritual creation, generation, and regeneration, you must understand and study this Hermetic principle. It contains the solution of many mysteries of life. They caution us, however, that this principle has no reference to the many base, pernicious, wow, that's an interesting word.
I dig it.
I don't know what that word means. Pernicious and degrading lustful theories, teachings, and practices which are taught under fanciful titles, and which are prostitution of the great natural principle of gender. A prostitution, so says the Kybalion.
So saith the Kybalion.
Now, yeah, don't get mad at me for that. That was the Kybalion. So let me...
He's old school, man. She is old school, you know.
These three
they
initiates...
They just used to talk like that back in the day, so, I mean, you can excuse it.
Yeah, they're just telling you what they heard, that's all.
It's a different time.
That's all it is. Such base revivals of the ancient infamous forms of phallicism tend to ruin the mind, body, and soul, and the Hermetic philosophy has ever sounded the warning note against these degraded teachings which tend toward lust, licentiousness. Wow, there's two, I don't know that word either. And perversion of nature's principles. If you seek such teachings, you must go elsewhere for them. Hermeticism contains nothing for you along these lines. To the pure...
Hey, Chris,
yes.
Real quick. Hermaphroditical phallicism.
Boom. Now, see, it doesn't work if you keep saying it, though. You gotta have somebody else say it. Then your vibration will have changed someone else's vibration.
Well, someone out there vibrate with me.
That's
Fuck's
right.
sake.
They're gonna. I promise. You may not ever know it, but they're gonna. So, to the pure, all things are pure. To the base, all things are base. That's basically what it's saying. If you're a dick and you're just trying to put a dick on everything, then,
everything's gonna be a dick.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what it is. If you can't figure out how to get past, how to see the world past wanting to fuck everything, then, yeah, there's nothing for you here in this episode, or the last episode, or in this book, the Kybalion, of which we speak.
And really, there's only like maybe one or two other episodes where you're welcome, so, move on.
True. That is true. I mean, you can listen, but we don't like you. So
listen to the Panzeram episode. He wanted to fuck everything too.
He would have liked you, yeah. He would have been. You guys would have been great friends.
Yeah, he'd have fucked you.
He'd have fucked you. And then probably bashed your face in with a fucking rock. But
Never trust Carl.
I mean, at least
So
you
saith
would
the
have laid.
Kybalion.
So saith the Kybalion.
That's my new Bible fact.
The Kybalion says, Carl will fuck you. So, yeah, those are the 7 principles, and I believe if you have been listening and following right along with this, sometimes possibly dryness, you'll understand how to, you may not understand how to apply them all right off the bat, but give them some thought. You know, the more you think about them, the more you understand them, the more you'll realize how to apply them, and and then let us know what happens, because I'm gonna start working on that. Yeah, I'll keep you updated.
I will say that you all now know how to make the perfect pecan pie from whatever the fuck is in your pantry.
Oh yeah, that's true. We have given out that info. If you were listening.
It's between the lines of cocaine that Chris and I have been doing for years.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Jesus, Chris. Grow some balls.
Your Honor, this man, I say this man, is a dick. However,
Hush, little Chrissy, don't say a word.
I need my eyes. Don't do this again. So, yeah, man. That's so. I mean, that's pretty much it. But there are a couple of interesting things that have spawned from this over the years. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the builders of the Adytum. Adytum. Adytum is what it's called.
Adytum?
Adytum, maybe.
Who'd you do?
I did the builders.
Bob the Builder?
So
he's not on the show anymore.
No,
so.
thank God. He was so small.
Aw.
He was so small. I mean, he's just not my cup of tea. I don't like short guys.
There'd be hair everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Picking it out your teeth for days.
This fucking guy. He was always sweaty. I don't like that. Anyway, yeah, the builders of Adytum was a school, or is still a school, of Western mystery tradition based in Los Angeles, which is registered as a non-profit tax-exempt religious organization.
Surprising, isn't it?
Yeah. It was founded by Paul Foster Case and has its roots in both the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which I think you guys all now kind of have a little more insight into what that is, and the Masonic Blue Lodge system. So this
Isn't
was...
that what Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble were a part of?
No. That was the... Well, I mean, maybe it was Hermetic, but that was the Order of the Water Buffalo. Which...
We have been talking about bowling quite a bit.
I used to have one of those hats. Those hats are the shit. And I used to wear them... Well, actually, it was a friend of mine that had one of the hats, but I used to
Chris,
wear it
no
every
one
time
wants
we
to
would
hear
come
you
over and
brag.
get drunk. It was
No one
awesome.
wants to hear you brag.
Everybody wants to hear about the fucking water buffalo hat. Shut up.
All day, every day bragging Chris. This is what I deal with.
Anyway, this
I've worn a hat.
weird little school in LA likes to say, you know, that it took its stuff from these Hermetic teachings, and it teaches, you know, it goes over some esoteric philosophy, psychology, tarot, fucking...
I imagine them just sitting around in a big room and somebody up front being like, you ever notice this? And then everybody's like, yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Hey, you ever notice this other thing? And they're like, oh my God, we have. Just 6 hours of it.
And then doing tarot cards for each other and meditating with their little special rocks and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think the Hermetic teachings are more of a self-actualization tool than anything else. I don't see setting up centers that you can fucking not pay taxes with for it. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, I see it just because people are fucking manipulative ice holes like that. But yeah, that's that's what I was mentioning in the beginning when we started the first episode. Is that if you really want to take something from this and turn it into something else, go right ahead. You can. There's plenty of room for that, but it's not necessary, and you really shouldn't because it's kind of a bastardization of it. But
Right.
I mean, if that's not what
But if
people
you
do.
want to, we will teach you how at our upcoming seminar that's coming to your town for the low price of $50 a head. There will be no dinner.
Bring your
It
own
is
lizards.
18 hours long. You will be whipped
Mm-hmm.
and called names. You will leave a worse person, but you should come anyway because there will be orange drink.
No Sunny D. And like I
It's
said,
not
bring your
Sunny
own
D's,
lizard.
It's like a knockoff Tang.
We will not be supplying lizards for the clamping of Jason's nipples.
Or wizards for the changing them into milk duds.
That's true. No, you gotta bring your
bring
own.
those with you as well. You will not be allowed to leave with them, though.
Yeah, they're gonna need to be washed and sterilized afterwards. As well as Jason's nipples. So,
I love to rub up on stuff, Chris.
Yeah, we know. We know all about it. So, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, we have not talked about, but we will at some point. It's a special thing.
They're special.
It is. It's special. We all know.
Special.
We all know. The cool kids know who was a member of that we will definitely be doing episodes on. But yeah, all of it, I mean, like they said, basically fucking every religion has taken from these teachings and just kind of branched off of that. It's been
Unoriginal assholes.
fucking biters. For real. For real.
I'd say I get it, but I don't get it.
Bite.
Be an original thinker. That's what all this is about.
Yeah.
Originate your thoughts somewhere else. Leave our thoughts out of it.
It actually kind of is. See? Whatever you make out of it, it's true.
Yeah.
It's right.
I could say I learned from these teachings that dinosaurs are actually still around because buffalo are extinct and now they're not.
Exactly. Somewhere in a dimension in this universe, or maybe the next one over, there is another identical version of this planet and everyone on it, except for the fact that dinosaurs are still around and buffaloes are extinct.
And we can ride dinosaurs. Hence, the Peruvian rocks are true holy shit.
What did I tell you about Full Circle when we started this adventure?
I don't know. I thought I remembered you saying something about a trapezoid. Or maybe it was just a trap for freakazoid.
Well, yeah, no, that was it. No, that was a private conversation we were having, Jason. Don't air out all my business like that. Anyway,
I'll help you catch that motherfucker. As long as I get to do with him what I want.
anyway, feel free. Squishy.
He is a super freak extraordinaire.
Anyway, yeah, well, I mean, what I wound up saying was, full circle. Everything's gonna come around full circle. You'll get it. You'll get it one day. And if you don't, well, then you had a lot more to learn. You have wasted quite a bit of time in your life getting to this
you were
point.
charitable and you were helpful, and now you're just condescending and mean.
No, well, I mean, it's not meant to be condescending and mean. It's kind of meant to say that, like, if you've gotten this far and you haven't ever stopped to think about any of this shit on your own, like, before even hearing these episodes, you got a lot longer to go. You got a ways left to go. You
know, how many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a hermaphroditical person? Am I wearing it out? Is it bad already?
It just doesn't have the same effect if it's you doing it. It has to be somebody else. or otherwise you're not proving that your techniques have properly been applied.
I mean, I'm not claiming to be some kind of weird trendsetter of words. I like saying things that feel good coming out of my mouth, Chris. Jesus, fuck.
You're a wizard in your own rights, Jason. So, but it's kind of like eating edibles, It's like, ooh, that brownie was tasty. Normally when you eat brownies, you can eat the whole brownie like it ain't shit, right? So it makes it difficult when it's infused with goodiness to stop yourself from eating the whole damn thing, but you should know better.
Yeah,
see what I mean?
You're gonna have a bad time.
See what I mean?
Well, Chris, I would
Full
like
circle.
to stand up and applaud your bringing us this topic and these teachings, and making them fun and interesting. Even though I did most of that,
It's because you're a hooker.
Need
That's what
you
we pay you for.
just like you need me.
Mm-hmm.
Hermaphroditical teachings. Let's do it.
You know what? They really are, though. That's actually accurate. I'm not trying to take that away from
I wasn't
you.
I wasn't gonna say it, but I had to.
Yeah.
There's one more thing I have to say though, and that is that you've fucking my goddamn Twix and tips. You've just listened to a Hermes Trismegistus teaching of 7 lessons, helping everyone to send us $1 and or an email episode of See No, Hear No, and Speak None.
The UFOs, the conspiracies. Good vibes, man. Just good vibes.
It's all good vibes.
And moitas.
The good vibe mode is...
I guess the moitas would be the effect. Don't be that cause. Don't be the cause of that
guy.
effect. Yeah.
Take a bath already. Cool.
I mean, do for yourself. That is one thing that this whole thing did not. It's another good thing about these teachings is that they don't differentiate between good and evil. It's not about that. It's about doing you. Just do you, man.
Your bootstraps are on the ground. Pick them the fuck up.
If you wind up hurting somebody, well, I mean, I guess they're the effect of your cause. But you were doing you.
Hey, Chris, what's the effect of this? Countdown?
3,
3,
2,
2, 1. Learn you some shit, kids, before you go bed.
Yes, please do.
2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Come together, these opposites attract. And you know it ain't fiction, it's a natural fact. We come together, these opposites attract. Opposites attract. Opposites attract.